everyone, for today's video, I'm going to be sharing with you my top 5 makeup brushes that I purchased off of FudeBeauty.com. Now, by the way, this isn't sponsored, and the reason why I'm doing this video is because I was actually recently invited to become part of the Fude Beauty community as one of the creators who share their love for Fude. Now, I'm actually very honored because I actually shared this privilege with 3 other creators. One, her name is Laura. She's from Finland. She does amazing looks on her Instagram page. Do follow her. And there's also one, her name is Sulamita. She's from Spain. She does wonderful step-by-step process on creating magnificent makeup looks. And the other creator, her name is Yelena. She's from California. And I know her more as Jaybird Walking. I think anybody who follows Fude, who like delves in the world of Fude, knows Elena, and if we need any information, we actually go to her. So I'm actually very humbled to be part of this esteemed group of people. And I actually have my top 5 makeup brushes here with me today. And if you're going to ask me if I had difficulty actually choosing these top 5 brushes, not really, because when Fude Beauty asked me what my top 5 makeup brushes were, all of these brushes flashed in my head. Now, the first brush that actually flashed in my head is actually the Chikuhodo MK-Koy brush. Now, this was actually gifted to me by Fude Beauty, and I have enjoyed using this immensely. Now, every time I use this on my patrons, they are actually very surprised on how soft the brush head is on their skin, and I just love the way the brush head actually hugs every single pane of my face. It is so amazing. It just hugs the bone structure amazingly well. And I actually use this for powder application, blush application, bronzer application, because in the way that I apply makeup, I actually prefer to apply thin layers of color until I am able to build the intensity that I want, and I find that this brush actually helps me to do this. Now, to me, this brush is also a perfect symbolism of makeup brushes made in Kumano, Hiroshima, Japan, because of the design on the handle, because this is actually made of koi, or in English they're called carp, and carp is actually a symbol of the town of Hiroshima, because even their baseball team is called carp. So this is a representation of the town of Hiroshima on my hands. Now, I have already talked about this brush extensively. I have actually made a video for this a few months ago, almost a year ago actually, and in that video I actually did compare this brush to my other Mackie brushes in my collection, namely the MK2 and the MKUM brush. Now, unfortunately, the MK2 brush is no longer in production, and these 2 brushes are the ones that you can currently purchase. So I hope that these 2 brushes will be around for quite some time, because I still adore them and I use them extensively when I work. So yeah, so if you are someone who's just starting your journey in the world of Fude, this is a great brush to have. And why don't you just start out with the big guns? Because, like, you know, if you're like me who's not planning to purchase every single Fude in the market right now, having this in your collection just makes it more special. And it just, you know, serves as a nice benchmark on, like, you know, how you can get to know Fude and how you can appreciate the craftsmanship and also the artistry in a Japanese handmade makeup brush. So this is the Chikuhodo MK-Koy brush. And the next brush that I'm going to be talking about is the Chikuhodo PF4 brush. It's a very chic looking brush. Look at that. It's so pretty, right? And don't be fooled by the brush head. I know it looks very dense on screen right now, but it's actually very, very soft. But I love how resilient it is. I actually use this brush more when I am applying cream foundations on the skin, because I find that this brush is actually strong enough to blend out these heavy types of foundations, and this also helps me to create a much more, like, you know, thicker layer on the skin when I want to cover more texture, like bearded areas like this. This just really helps me to get the foundation into this part of my skin. Now, I'm not gonna create a demo for this because I have talked about this brush extensively before in one of my videos. Now, I'm gonna put a link of that on my description box so that you can go and check it out. And I'm gonna put a timestamp there so you can just go and jump to that part of the video, because I talked about this brush with my other brushes that I hauled from Fude Beauty at that time, so you don't have to watch the entire video. So if you're interested to see what I use this brush for and how I use it, please go and check out that video. The Chikuhodo PF4 brush is one of my go-to brushes. And the other brush that I have is my Mizuho CMP527 brush. It's a eyeshadow brush, and I love the brush head design here. I love how it tapers into a point, and the main reason why I love using this is because it really fits well into my socket area, and I can really apply the color well here, and I'm also actually able to blend it out extremely well. Now, you've seen me use this brush a number of times in some of my videos here on my channel, so I'm sure you're quite familiar with it if you've been following me here for quite some time. And I just really love how soft it is, but it's actually very resilient because it's a mix of squirrel and horsehair. And if you are using hard pressed eyeshadows, this is a great brush to use because you can actually apply it, you can pick it up from the pan, and you can actually blend it out extremely well on your eyes. So this is the CMP527 brush from Mizuho. Now, the Chikuhodo FO5 brush is an eyeshadow brush, but I do not use this for applying eyeshadows on my eyes, but I actually use this to apply powders to set concealer in my under eye area. Now, I'm sure you've seen me do that a number of times on my videos if you follow me here on my channel, and I've actually also talked about the reasons why I love this in a video that I did that I reviewed the entire Chikuhodo FO series line. So again, I'm going to put a link down in the description box so you can go and check this out. I really love this. I really love how resilient the brush head is, but it's very, very soft. And I actually love using this to pick up hard pressed setting powders in pressed form like this. It really does the job of picking it up and applying the product on my under eye area. This is a essential brush that I have in my kit, and I use this all the time. And the last brush that I'm going to be talking about is my Tanseido WC-140 brush. It's fairly new to my collection, but I do love using this, mainly because look at the brush head. I love how round it is, and I just love how airy it is. So this is made of Chikuhodo hair, so this is very strong and resilient, and this will enable you to blend out and to pick up those hard pressed type of eyeshadow formulas. And the main reason why I decided to get this is not for eyeshadow application, because truthfully, if you look at this brush head now, it's actually very big. Now it's actually bigger than my Sonia G Detail Pro brush. You can see it there. But if you are someone who actually likes to apply like a one and done eyeshadow with a very, very soft application and well blended and well diffused color on the eyelid, this is actually a nice eyeshadow brush to use, because you can apply eyeshadow and deliver it extremely well and extremely fast on your eyelid. Now, I have been looking for a brush that's actually quite airy. It has a rounded brush head shape, and a brush that's actually quite resilient, because I have some eyeshadow palettes in my collection wherein I can use some colors as blushes. For example, these two colors from the Divine Rose 2 palette from McGrath, I can actually use this for blush, right? And I also have some colors on my ColourPop palettes that I can use as blush, and I find that because the pans here are quite small, it's actually quite difficult for me to use my regular sized blush brushes because it's just too big, and when I press it into the pan, it just blooms way too much, and it will pick up some other colors from other pans. So I don't want to contaminate my brush with other colors that I don't really need. So for example, this Divine Rose 2 palette, if you just press the brush here on the pan, you can see that the brush actually covers the entire pan really well, and it actually picks up a great amount of product, and because this has a circular brush head, when you apply this on your skin, you're able to actually blend it out at the same time because of the rounded shape of the brush head. And because this is made of Chikuhodo hair, so it means it's quite durable and resilient. You can also use this for hard pressed powders, you can use this for highlighters, it really helps to apply those types of formula on the skin extremely well, and you're also able to blend it out at the same time. So I'm so glad that I was able to find the Tanseido WC-140 because I can actually use this brush in multiple number of ways, which is an A++ in my book. Alright, so those are my top 5 brushes from FudeBeauty.com. Now, if you have any more questions about how I use these brushes, please leave them in the comments box and let's have a conversation about it. And if you do happen to have any of these brushes, please let me know how you use it, and maybe we might be able to learn something from each other, because that's the thing that I want. We learn from each other. Now, if you are someone who's starting your journey in Fude, or if you just love Fude, I actually have a coupon code for you. Everything is listed down on the description box, so you can go and check it out, and you can get $10 off your order if you go straight on FudeBeauty.com. Alright, so that's it from me today. I hope that you enjoyed this video. Thank you so much for watching. Thank you so much for being here, and I hope that you're having a good day wherever you are. Bye!